Can you hear the waves? Let me know. It's all about the waves right now. Can you hear? Good morning, Gretchen. Please give me a sound check. Can you hear me? Can you hear the waves? Beautiful. Thank you, my dear friend. So on last night's show, I promised everybody that I would show you what it looks like on a beautiful sunrise in Fort Lauderdale. And today is absolutely perfect. Look at these clouds. That's a weird cloud formation. Almost looks like a harp. Boy, that sun is super bright. And I basically just woke up, so I'm a little tired, but I'm not that tired. I've been trying to get to sleep a lot earlier lately, so I can see this. When I woke up this morning, the orange glow was in the sky, and I was like, I think today's the perfect day for a sunrise show. Especially when I know a lot of people are waking up to snow. Not me. Not today. Probably not ever again. I traded in the snow life for the salt life more than 10 years ago. And it was the best thing I ever did. So this is the famous Fort Lauderdale Beach. We are right on the Fort Lauderdale Strip. And the waves are not known to be super big here. Yeah, it was, Fred. Bitter cold, Gretchen. But do you have any snow or just the cold? I feel like if you're gonna have cold, you should have some snow to show for it, right? Just my opinion. Sleepy Fort Lauderdale Strip. Well, maybe not so sleepy because all of the fitness buffs are out every morning running the beach. And I wanted to talk to you about that this morning, running. Welcome back, Bo. So when you're up early in the morning, then you get to see the people who are all about it. And they're out there in their running clothes and they look so fit and they're running down the street, zooming right past me. And I used to be one of those people back in the day. But no more. When I was in my 30s and 40s, people would say to me, you know, Jill, you have to be really careful of your knees. You really pound on those knees and they're gonna give out on you after a while. And a lot of people in their 50s and 60s have to have knee replacements. No, you can't drive on the beach, Gretchen. These tire tracks are from Side by Side or whatever beach buggy is out here. The only ones who are allowed to drive on these beaches are the lifeguards and the police. That's it. So, yeah, this isn't a driving beach. This is a party beach. That's why it's very empty in the morning, except for the fitness buffs. Oh, Fred's got the bad knees at 66. Well, I like to say that my knees are doing really well at 60. I don't have any knee problems. I've never had any knee problems. I think one of the reasons is because when I was 50, I moved to the beach. I'm in Fort Lauderdale, Dave. Fort Lauderdale Beach. So I moved to the beach when I was 50. We got our sunrise, which is super bright to look at. So that's why I have it behind me. Anyway, I moved to the beach, and most of my running and exercising ever since has been on the beach. And the sand is very, very good for your joints, just like water. Oh, you're in Ocala. You don't have a beach. My sister used to live in Ocala. I love Ocala. What a gorgeous little town. And you probably you have a horse or 2 or 3, right? Yeah, the beach and the snow, 2 very different walking situations. But both of them very good for burning calories. Your feet are most important. They're what's going to carry you for your whole life. That's a good point, Gretchen. And I totally agree with that. And I have horrible bunions that I've had my whole life. But I'm at the point where I don't ever want to wear shoes again. I don't wear shoes very often. I wear flip-flops a lot. But I don't wear shoes. Here, let's look at the sunrise. I'm looking rough this morning. I wasn't really prepared to go live. But then I was like, you know what? It's a beautiful morning. So here we are. Wow, that sun is so bright. And I didn't even bring my sunglasses. But you're right. Your feet, your knees, it's all very important. And that's the reason why I've actually been noticing that there is a new scientific study out saying that it's not good to run, that you stress your body. And, you know, we've always been told no pain, no gain. Hi, Johnny. It is another beautiful day here in Fort Lauderdale. And Dragon Master just had a total hip replacement. Also, I think because of walking, am I right? Is that why you have to have a hip replacement? Because you were a fitness buff? Aren't those the only people who have to have their knees, their hips, their feet, everything goes out when you live your life really working it hard, right? My mom's getting one in February. Yeah, you guys worked out your whole life, and that's the thanks you get. Messed up knees, faulty hips. Bo has a lot of good, helpful advice for pain and issues with the body. Hey, Rachel, you are at the beach, Rachel. You're here. I want you to suspend all belief and be at the beach with me. Don't forget, the Beach Report is all about making you feel like you're here. You're in the moment. You're on the beach. You're looking at the water. Instead of cold outside, it's a balmy, 72 degrees maybe 73. The sun beating down on my shoulders right now makes it feel like it's shot up to 80. Oh, sciatica's a tough one too. So all of you guys, I say complaining in the kindest way possible, because you should complain when you have pain from trying to stay fit your whole life. But there is new science out there. We could call it new science, but it makes a lot of sense. And the fact of the matter is that you should not be doing strenuous sports. You should not, no pain, no gain is not a real thing. The body is actually beautifully designed to handle everyday activities and long walks with ease. When your body feels safe, when your body feels like you're not in pain and you are doing something you're enjoying, then it should be effortless. What is it that God always told us? You should not be worrying. I know there's a Bible verse, which one of my Bible verses is on right now, but Bo, can you pull up the Bible verse that says, do not worry about what you eat? Look at these little birds. They're looking for breakfast. And they don't care. They know it's there. They just have to look for it. In fact, they look like they're having a pretty good time looking for their breakfast. Our bodies are so amazing. Good morning, Charlie. Oh, thank you so much, Johnny. I really appreciate that. What's the weather like in Pakistan? Get these little piper birds. So you can see them foraging for breakfast. They always find something to eat because the good Lord provides for them. They don't ask. They don't have to pay any money. They have to work for it, of course. But if they don't work for it, then they're not alive. We humans are far too concerned. Isn't that crazy how people empty the grocery stores before a storm that'll probably last 2 or 3 days at the most? Well, the seaweed that you see here is actually called sargassums. S-A-R-G-A-S-S-U-M. And it's very natural. It does look ugly. It's definitely not pretty. And it's not nice for beachgoers at all. They try to take it away on these beaches, but it's pretty much impossible because you can see it's everywhere. It comes from the Sargasso Sea. I would never eat this sargassum. No, I don't know. I guess if you cook it well enough, it might be edible, but it's not very pleasant to look at, and it doesn't smell very good either. However, it is very nutritious and benefits the beach and the birds and the life, all of the creatures that live here. So I don't see any jellyfish today, but we don't get jellyfish in the traditional sense. Like when I lived up north in New Jersey, we would get these white jellyfish that didn't really do too much. And then of course the stinging jellyfish. But here we have a different kind of jellyfish. They're called man-o-war. And when you see them, yeah, talk about pronouns. The man-o-war is a them. It's actually a whole colony when you see it. I'll look for man-o-war. They're often on these beaches. I don't see any just now. But when they're in the water, when there's a lot of them, you see them everywhere. And you don't want to go in the water if you see a lot of man-o-war jellyfish because, oh, there's one right now. Nope, that's not. That's a piece of plastic. This is a sad thing. Fort Lauderdale's beach is very dirty. A lot of garbage. And look, this lady's a hero. Thank you very much for what you're doing. Thank you. Thank you. She's actually picking up garbage off the beach. That's fantastic. Yeah, no, it's good that you did that. Yeah, and she can't even begin to start. I mean, it's nice that she did that, but I see garbage everywhere. And this is not something that I see in the beaches north of here. It's really, Fort Lauderdale is a very, very touristy town. You have people from all over the world coming to Florida, but a lot of them come specifically to Fort Lauderdale. And oh, look at these little guys. I don't see any of the man of war jellyfish. Not at the moment. And usually you see them everywhere. Oh, they got box jellies in Destin. They got them in Jupiter too, but you don't really see those. You see the man of war because they wash up on the beach. Look how cute those little birds are. Now look at them. You saw them going crazy looking for food, and they ate their food. And look, now they're just chilling. Yeah, exactly, Abu. They chilling like a bunch of villains. They've had everything they needed to eat, and like some of them are cleaning themselves. Some of them look like they're gonna take a nap. Look how happy they are. Yeah, their bellies are full. And didn't they look so excited when they descended on the beach and started eating whatever they could find? And now they're done. Breakfast is over for these guys. Mermaid to the left. Do you mean that is not a mermaid? Yeah, no, not a mermaid. Could be a mermaid, is not a mermaid. No mermaids in the water. But thanks for looking, Dale. Thank you. We appreciate that. Yeah, it's funny. It is like total nap time for little birdies. They're so cute. Oh, I want to go pet them and hug them. I'm just saying that. I would never do that, but yeah. Yeah, when you're at the beach, Dale, you see all sorts of stuff. Are those called sea goose? I think they're called pipers, actually. Look how cute they are. And they're not the only ones taking a nap. Now we've got a little group of seagulls over here taking a snooze. And we have the amazing sunrise. Oh my gosh, it's just glorious. Sandpipers, that's right, Rob. We have some foraging sandpipers over here. They're still doing breakfast. Isn't it interesting how they live in groups? Oh, Dale, what? Seagull stew? Oh, that sounds gross. But I mean, I guess it's a big fat bird, right? Tell us, did it taste like chicken? So we don't have red algae in Fort Lauderdale, Jason. We never did. The red algae, that red tide, that's over on the West Coast, not on the East Coast. That's true. Safety in numbers. You think these little guys are cooler than gulls? They are pretty cool. They're definitely adorable. And boy, they skirt those waves. They do not want to get their little feet wet. And these guys are over here just, they're still, oh, half of them are asleep. Yeah, it does look a lot like Hollywood Beach, Jason. Yeah, you don't want food at the beach. Although a lot of people always want to bring their food to the beach. They want to have picnics at the beach. These guys will go after your food. Well, maybe not these guys. The big ones, the seagulls. That's what they do. Sandpipers search for crustaceans. Yeah, here, we'll see. This is the search for the crustaceans. There, it's happening right now. Searching, 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 searching. Looking in the seaweed, not there. Looking in the sand, not there. Searching, searching. He's not doing too well. And the search goes on. Sweet dreams are made of these. Who am I to disagree? I traveled the world and the seven seas. Everybody's looking for something. Some of them want to use you. Some of them want to get used by you. Some of them want to abuse you. Some of them want to be abused. Looks like they've got some new birdies joining this group. Yeah, birds don't play. I don't know about you, but I could watch little birds all day long. All day long. They are just my favorites. They're so cute. Here, look, it's me and the, look, I'm petting the birds. Like, they don't like it. They're like, stop petting us. Get out of here. Yeah, they didn't like that. They're done with me. Yeah, I tried to be the Pied Piper. It didn't work, did it, Gretchen? They're not interested. They're like, no, just no. Had enough of her. Those wacky humans. Yeah, they don't like giants. So here's the good news about the ocean. When you see big tankers off the shore, especially here in Fort Lauderdale, down there at the end, that last building, see those big, that looks like they're trenching something, but big tanker ships and cruise ships, they're waiting, like this one right here, for instance, that sucker is waiting to get into Port Everglades. That's what our port is called here in Fort Lauderdale, Port Everglades. And the boats don't want to be there for long because I believe it costs them by the hour to be in the port. So they will park offshore and you'll see them just sitting there. There's another one. Just waiting for their chance to refuel or whatever they need to do in the port. Get food for the next 3 months or whatever. Wait, you're not a mod now, Rachel. I don't know what happened, but I'll make you a mod. There, now you're a mod. Yeah, everyone's talking about silver, you guys. If you can possibly buy silver, now's the time. Oh, you became a mod for someone else. Is that what you're telling me? Yeah, that does look like a dredger. And it would make sense down there because that is where the port is, and the ships have to go through a very, very small space in order to get into Port Everglades. So they probably do have to dredge the canal from time to time. Good morning, Miguel. How's Brazil doing? That's a beautiful country. On last night's show, I promised everybody I would show them a East Coast sunrise. And I woke up this morning and God said, this is it, today's the day. Run, go. It's gonna be beautiful. He wasn't wrong. Hi, Donna. Donna's got her eyes out. Oh, you're a mod for your best friend. Okay. Well, now you're a mod for me too, Rachel. We need help sometimes. Not this morning, though. It looks like there's only nice people on this morning, and I'm grateful for that. So, what I was talking about earlier is those of us who've lived our whole lives working out. It reminded me, because I'm walking to the beach this morning, and you don't see a lot of people, but the people that you see are all running. They're all working out. They're all in their gear. They're flying by me, because I'm not doing that anymore. And I'm so excited to be 60 years old and still have the use of my original knees, hips, and feet. So what the new scientific studies have been saying is that there is no need to really ruin your knees, hips, and feet with lots of workouts and running. And running isn't really natural. I mean, every now and then, you know, you might have to run for a reason. Run for the bus, run after a toddler, you know, there's all sorts of reasons for running. But in general, you don't have to run to be fit. What you have to do is live. So the science is now saying that the best thing you can do, exactly, Donna, is walking. Walking is not stressful for your knees, hips, or feet. You should not walk to the point where you can't breathe. You should walk, not at a very slow pace like a shopping walk. That's not really that helpful. But at a good clip, walking down the street, you are going to get the most benefit, and your body will feel comfortable enough to actually burn the calories, burn the fat that you've been storing for just such an occasion. 20-minute walks, half an hour every day. Turmeric sounds like a good plan, Rob knows. Swimming is also a fabulous exercise that will not hurt your joints. And I think what we're all learning, especially those of us now in our 50s and 60s and 70s, is that your joints do wear out if you've been pounding on them your whole life. So, wow, we've got first I'm going to report you because you are a terrorist. And now I'm going to kick you off my show because you are a terrorist. Wow, that's horrible. Thank heavens for moderation. No sugar, but I don't mind caffeine. I like my coffee. I think it depends on each one of us. Eat apples in the morning, don't have caffeine. Rob also doesn't like caffeine. No, actually, you're right about that, Rob. In the morning, apparently, mornings are the most important time of day for you to set yourself up for a healthy day. Try to wake up with the sun, then try to look at the sun. Try not to look at your phone until you have looked at the sun. Drink a big glass of water, not coffee, not anything else, just water. Yeah, I got it. I see those horrible people, and I'm like, not today, Satan. But I didn't know that apples wake you up better than coffee, and I have an apple at home, and I'm going to eat it when I get home. So thank you, Rob. But a walk first thing in the morning is a wonderful thing to do for yourself. And now here's the new thing that everybody's talking about on the internet. And that is that after eating, it is very important to go for a walk. You know, we have been told our whole lives that after you eat, it's very important that you not move, that your body digests food, and that if you do move, you could get horrible cramps, maybe even die. I can't believe anything anyone ever told me in the past now. I'm so done with it. Hi, Alex. The other side of the world where it's dark and cold. I'm sorry. That's why I'm here in Fort Lauderdale. I never want to be dark and cold again. Yes, Florida. It looks like Florida to me. Got a beautiful, I can't even look at it. It's so bright and it's getting so hot that I actually have to kind of, yeah, I have to save my phone from this because my phone is going to overheat if I keep letting it be in the bright, bright sunshine. So I'm hiding the sunshine with my big old head. How's Gainesville? Is it warm in Gainesville? Because it's very warm here in Fort Lauderdale. It got warm yesterday and a little bit humid. Kind of perfect weather, actually. Very beautiful. Panama City is beautiful, but it could be cold there. See, when I left Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania 11 years ago, no, it was 10 and a half years ago. It was February 15th. I'll never forget it. I got in my car and it said 2 degrees in my car. And then I drove south. And I drove and I drove and I drove and I watched my temperature gauge go up and up and up. At one point, it hit 50 and I was like, this is good. I'm in the Carolinas. I kept driving down. Hey, Joe, what's it like in Pittsburgh? It's cold there, isn't it? I kept driving south until my temperature gauge said 85. And I thought, perfect, I'm home. That was South Florida. And I have not looked back. Celtic salt is good. This is the same beach, Ulugby, from yesterday. Was I on the beach yesterday? Well, it's Fort Lauderdale. I wasn't on this beach exactly. Thank you for protecting me, Rachel. I know, Joe, I know. That's why I left. That's why I am in South Florida. I was like gone with the wind. I was like, as God is my witness. Wait, as God is my witness, I'll never be cold and snowy again. Yes, this is part 2. Thank you for reminding me. I always want to call you Juno Beach, Donna. And she's one of my best friends. So anyway, yeah, I did a part 1, and for some reason there was no sound, so I just cut out and we're back. But feel free to watch that one too. It was very beautiful. Hey, Julian. Yes, welcome to Florida, everybody. Welcome to Florida. This is the home of my heart. I never want to live anywhere else ever again. I love Florida so much. Hey, Two Stroke. Good morning, my friend. Glad to see you. I think you were one of the people asking about the Atlantic Ocean sunrise. Oh, there it is, right there. Absolutely beautiful. I love Florida. And all of those of you who love Florida, I'm always going to bring you here. Thank you so much, Julian. I greatly, greatly appreciate it. Those of you who send me gifts, you should know how much it really helps me. Besides making my day, it also helps me to continue to do the beach report. So I thank you so much. If everybody just did a little something, it'd be helpful. I'm not trying to get wealthy over here, and if you really, really want to support my work, go over to my website, jillbooks.com, and take a look at the books that I've written and the books that I've published for other people. Mahalo, Julian. I am an author, I'm an editor, and I'm a book publisher. So it really supports me when you buy my books. I know, two teenage boys died in the state, that was a state park. I didn't know that. They were digging a hole. And that happened just days after I posted my video about a young boy. I was walking on the beach in Fort Myers, actually. Was it Fort Myers? No, it was Naples. And I had, for the second time that day, encountered a child in a hole. The first kids that I encountered in the hole, their hole wasn't all that deep, but they were digging it. So I told the parents, you know, get your kids out of that hole. Florida holes are the most dangerous. It is the most preventable death that there is. So I was walking on the Naples beach, and suddenly I see a teenage boy in a hole up to his neck, literally up to his neck. And his dad's sitting right next to him. And I look at I always say to the parents, every time I encounter a child digging a hole, I say something. Because there will never be a child dying on my watch on a beach. If I see your child in a hole, I don't care. I'm gonna go up, I'm gonna say something. Call me Karen, say whatever the hell you want about me. I don't ever want to see a child die that way. That is one of the most horrible ways that you can die, by the way. Can you imagine in a hole of sand? That's like you just dug your own damn grave. It's horrible. Anyway, so I see this boy in a hole up to his neck, and I'm like, I'm losing it, because it could happen at any moment, literally at any moment. And I run up and I say to his dad, are you his dad? Yes. Please have your son get out of that hole immediately. It can collapse in on him. It can kill him. So please do something about that. And the father, he looks at his son, and his son's like frozen in this hole looking at me like, what? She's ruining all my fun. And the father looks at the boy and he says, you stay right there. And I'm like, no! My mouth must have fallen to the ground when he told his son, you stay right there. I was like, time is of the essence. But this guy, he meant business, and he looked at me, and then he says to the boy, you stay there. Then he looks at me and he says, I'll handle this. I said, okay. I walked away, but I watched. And I saw the boy got out of the hole right away. And then he started filling it in, which I have the video. And it wasn't just the boy filling it in. After a while, his dad helped him, because it was a very deep hole. And I do believe that had that boy been allowed to stay in that hole much longer, we would have had another death on Naples Beach. And if I had walked past and said nothing, that would have been my fault. Do you agree? So, hi Barry. Yes, I love positivity, but I also want everyone to be aware. Don't dig holes at the beach. And when you see somebody digging a hole at the beach, please, for the love of all that is holy, walk up to the parents. Always talk to the parents first. Never talk to the children. They don't know any better. You walk up to the parents and you just tell them, digging holes is dangerous. And you can't do that here. You need to stop, get your kid out of the hole. You have to save them. Julian, if I walked past a child in a hole and that hole fell in on that child after I passed by and said nothing, I'm gonna blame myself forever. And I don't wanna live with that. So I say that in memory of a little girl. Yeah, call me Karen, but there was a little girl right up the beach here. She was digging a hole with her little brother, or her big brother, I'm not sure. She was only 8 years old. I don't remember how old her brother was, but her name was Sloan. So little Sloan was digging a hole with her brother just last summer. And all of a sudden, the hole caved in. Sloan was on the bottom. Her brother was on the top of Sloan. And he could feel her beneath him. And then he couldn't feel her moving anymore. Her brother had to go to the hospital. He was in the hospital for a long time. And little Sloan died that day. So that beach up there in a little town called Lauderdale by the Sea, which is where I will be this evening for a block party. Sloan Mattingly was her last name. Please look it up, okay? Those of you who think that I'm overreacting, I beg of you to please look up the story of Sloan Mattingly. Her life mattered. Because of her death, they now have signs on the beaches in Lauderdale by the Sea that say, no holes allowed here. It's now a law in Lauderdale by the Sea that you are not allowed to dig holes, and you are warned about it on your way onto the beach. And that's because of Sloan. So that little girl's death may well prevent deaths forever. I've never been to Tel Aviv. I've never been to the Middle East. Some people just want to be nasty. Thank you, Rachel. Anyway, I hope I've saved a life by telling you guys this story that some people just don't want to hear. Julian got stuck in a sand hole once, and you were lucky and taught how to get out of wet holes. And you know, that's another thing that one of my friends pointed out, is that you can teach kids how to get out of that situation. You shouldn't get into that situation, but if you're in it, you should know how to shore yourself up and get out of it. I love you guys. I'm glad I made you a mod, Rachel. You definitely deserve that. So yes, it's an absolutely beautiful day. I'm trying to spread messages of life and sunshine and save the children. Save the children from the holes. It's a real danger. And you guys who watch the Beach Report or have been watching the Beach Report for the 10 plus years that I've been doing it have seen me many times stop my show in order to save a child from a hole. It happens almost every day. And I am not daunted at all by people who call me names and say nasty things to me because I tried to save children's lives. You know, it's kind of like, I'll bet that the people who call me a Karen probably also hate President Trump. It's like, we should tell these people, maybe everybody should stop drinking water daily. It's bad for you. Maybe we'll get rid of the bad people. Anyway, it's beautiful here. I'm just trying to help. Seagulls. Yes, they're special needs adults, exactly. Yes, where are all the people? Well, it's early, Ulugby, and this is a party beach. This is the Fort Lauderdale Strip. So most of the people staying in those big hotels there, most of them are still asleep. I've done Keys sunset parties, Julian. Just you wait. We always go to the Florida Keys on the Beach Report. We hit all the beaches. But this week we're in Fort Lauderdale. And yes, this is a magnificent sunrise we've got this morning. Absolutely gorgeous. South Beach is Miami, Donna. So no. Not near South Beach at all. Yeah, we've got a beautiful empty beach here. This is a nice morning beach. Well, it looks like some of the beach creatures are on their way. Look, they look like they're walking pretty slow, but they're coming. They're coming. Julian, what's up with Clearwater? Isn't that like home of the Scientologists? I don't go to Clearwater Beach. Yeah, this dude looks like he's. I don't want to. I don't want to say that. People say crap about me, and it's never true. So, but here's the thing: when you live in Fort Lauderdale, or when you're visiting Fort Lauderdale, a lot of people call it Fort Lickerdale for a reason. It could be. Ah, thank you, Vincent. Yeah, you can't really conceal it. I don't know. I'm looking kind of rough myself this morning. But I just woke up and was like, sunrise! I just threw myself out the door and literally walked, didn't run to the beach. Because that's my new thing, is I am on a walking program now. Walking for health and weight loss. Very comment. Well, there was a reason to hit that one. I don't know, I didn't see what Barry commented. Did I move it? I don't know. Oh, I brought it back actually. Anyway. People are coming on the beach now. Slowly but surely. But here we've got a very sleepy group. These guys have just eaten their breakfast. It's siesta time for seagulls. All good, Rachel. We're all looking out for each other. We're not all perfect. We're human. That's the thing about the beach report. You're only going to see live reality, actual birds, actual beaches, no AI allowed. We don't do AI here. I think he's actually went into the ocean to have a wee, if you will. Kind of does look like the dawn of the dead. All right, well, the difference between making fun of me and making fun of him is that you know who I am and we don't know who he is. And he looks like just about every other bloke on the beach, so it doesn't really matter. Yes, wear your armor strong. Thank you, Barry. You're not wrong. I don't know, can it get more gorgeous than this? Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountains' majesty above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed his grace on thee. Same, Julian, and crown thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Bye, Darla. God bless America indeed. And God bless President Trump. That man works day and night for us. You know, one thing that really gets me when I'm doing my live shows and President Trump's on live, and all of these people coming on saying that he's had a stroke. and it boggles my mind. What makes you think the man's had a stroke? Like, have they never seen someone who's actually had a stroke? And if he has had a stroke, like they say, then he's having strokes daily, like many of them. How's he still walking? How's he still functioning? It looks pretty good for someone who's stroking out on a daily basis. Thank you, Barry. Don't worry. Don't worry, I got your back. I'll bring you back. Yeah, trolls be crazy, exactly. They're just so full of hatred and lies. So many lies. Thank you, Julian. I greatly appreciate that. Hello, Samit. All right, Samit, just ask the questions. Go ahead. You've been around long enough. I'm responding to you, Samit. Ask your questions. No, Barry's one of us. That's clear. Yeah, I wonder what's going on when it's closed. You know, President Trump is very transparent. So you gotta wonder when it's closed. Come on, Samit. I never see dolphins, Lisa. I wish I did, but I never do. I don't know why. I want to see dolphins, and I just don't get blessed to see them very often. Rollcall.com. Barry says, I was going back and forth with one person. They said I was being hateful, supporting to the middle class and paying for the lazies. I don't think the middle class are lazy people at all. Greenland is icy and Iceland is green. I love you, Donna. You're the funniest. Although you're funny because you're telling the truth. All right, that's enough. I can't take the sun anymore, so I have to hide it with my big head. I have to hide my phone with my big head too. All right, Lisa, what song would you like to sing at the ocean? You love Clearwater. I don't know Clearwater. I just know that there's a lot of Scientologists there. That's all I know. I guess I'll have to check out Clearwater for you guys. I know that's my cue to sing. Actually, Donna, you wrote Q for line up. That's how you spell Q, but Q to sing is C-U-E. Sing. I am an English teacher. Oh, Samit, you were always appreciated. Trump, and have you once realized what your president just done? What such funny thing like Venezuela president? What you have to tell about these? Okay, I know Samit's English isn't the best, but I'm very proud of President Trump, and the people of Venezuela are very happy with President Trump. So I'm going to go with the way they reacted and say that what he's done in Venezuela was not just a good thing, but humanitarian and wonderful. So, yeah, and us right on the edge of collapse, exactly. Now that's something that I can't stomach anymore. You know what? It's the middle class that's been pumping up this country, because the lower class people have all decided not to work and to live on welfare. And I haven't stayed in Trump Towers, but I've stayed at Trump's golf course in Doral a couple of times. Was so lucky to be able to do that. You're right, Barry. We, the middle class, we, the normal people of America, we have been used and abused in every way possible. And I was especially taken the other day by that testimony given by the woman with the autistic son that she brought to her testimonial. And when I realized what was going on, where she was letting us all know that as an average American white woman, just a normal American woman running a daycare business, She was audited like weekly. They wanted to know everything. They hounded her all the time to prove that she was eligible for money from the government to run her daycare. She had to jump through hoops, sitting there with her autistic son, literally in tears over the way she's been treated. And we know that the Leering Center, did they not ever look at the sign? How long was the Leering Center there? Did they not realize that they couldn't even spell quality Leering? How many Leering Centers were overlooked and treated like, give them whatever they want? Well, the average American person, you know, like everyone now is like, oh, we should all start daycare centers. But it won't work for us because we're Americans and we're treated badly. We're treated like second-class citizens in our own country, where our fathers and brothers and uncles and grandparents fought and died for us to be free. And not just us white people, but black people too, by the way. There was a civil war fought for your freedom too. This is a country of equal opportunity, but they took advantage of that. Oh wait, what are we supposed to read? And I'm not just a white woman, I'm a Jew. So imagine how I've been treated in America. I grew up in white bread Pittsburgh. Yeah, Julian, go to the beach. What's your interview for? Nick Shirley is doing good work. You know, sometimes your comments go too fast for me. Views about other countries is just what single thing they doing is only about them. So Samit, I think what you're asking is how President Trump is focused on America first. It's a good reason for that. Because the rest of the world looks towards the United States of America as if we're going to save everybody. In World War II, we swooped in, saved the day. So many times, America is looked at as the Great White Hope. And then all the people from other countries come to America, hoping to cash in on our American dream. And instead of becoming American and pursuing the dream along with the rest of us Americans, they've taken advantage of the dream. And they have used the money that we pay in to our tax system, which we now know is very unfair. Hey, Aquarian, Echo Rain, Aquarian, Echo Rain proper. They've used that money to fund their own narratives, their own countries. I mean, the people coming from Somalia were sending the money back to Somalia. They weren't funding the American dream. People in Mexico come to America, send the money back to Mexico. Cubans do it too. You know, everybody wants to help their brethren, their kin over in other countries. That's not helping the American dream. So Americans have been doing a lot for people all over the world. And now we've elected a president who is no longer going to throw us under the bus and sell us out for their own self-interest. President Trump doesn't care about being wealthy. He's been wealthy his whole life. He doesn't care. He cares about his country doing well. I think war is horrible. I think that a society in the 21st century should be above war and acting like a bunch of animals, killing people in the streets. I don't agree with it at all, and that's another reason why I voted for President Trump, because he hates war and he's stopping wars. President Trump has worked so hard for us, and he's given up everything. Everything. His safety, his children's safety, everything. He's got the biggest target on his back. I don't know what your question is, Samit. I'm trying to answer it. And I'm just being honest, and after living in this country for most of my life, and I left this country in the early 90s to live in Switzerland and have my children there. And I thought I would live there forever and raise Swiss children and be quite happy in Switzerland. But then I realized, and my husband was a hopeless alcoholic who put his hands around my neck, so I had to leave that situation. I did run away from Switzerland because of the abuse, but also because I had to come back and save my own country. You can run away from your country and your country's problems, but then that's on you. Yes, let's all say thank you to President Trump. Jabba-cat, you're absolutely right. Thank you. Thank you for literally sacrificing everything you have and everyone you know for we the people. So, yeah, I've had a lot of life experience, and that's okay, because I'm a journalist. And when I was 10 years old, I made a vow to live a life worth writing about. And I have definitely gone above and beyond. And I've lived many lives in many different places. And I've gone through immigration to and from this country. I became a Swiss citizen. That wasn't easy. I had to assimilate. I had to speak the language of the country. Not of the country, I'm sorry, of the community. In Switzerland, you have to speak a dialect, and it's different in every village. So I am international. This is an international show. I appreciate people from other countries. My first husband was Swiss, my ex-husband. My husband who died was Cuban. Well, he was American. He became a card-carrying American citizen, and he also worked for it. You want me to speak Swiss German? Ich kann jetzt Deutschsprache für die. How's that? I said I can now speak Swiss German for you. Sometimes we have Swiss people come on my show, and you'll hear me speak Swiss German to them and to the German people too, because I don't really speak German. I really only speak Swiss German. I learned that if I wanted to assimilate with my country folk in Switzerland, that speaking German wasn't going to get me there, because the Swiss do not like Germans. That's just a fact. The Swiss actually don't like anybody. That's a fact too. Neutrality, that's not real. They hate everyone. Sorry, it's true. I'm writing a book about it right now. It's called 7 Years in Switzerland, so get ready for that. Really, Marco, do you have to be rude to me? I have one ex-husband, and my husband died, okay? I had a second chance at love, and I thought I got that chance at love, and then my husband died of cancer. So please don't be rude to me. Some people get divorced. It happens. I'll never get married again. I don't even date. I'm not interested in a relationship at the age of 60. I think President Obama tried to destroy our country. I think that the last 4 years was President Obama's third term. That's what I think. I think President Obama, he belongs in jail. And you know what? Trump married 3 times. That's his prerogative. I'm not talking about anyone's personal life. You guys want to talk about my personal life? I really don't care. I don't have one, okay? My husband is dead. I'm still married. I still love him. So, so I got divorced. My husband, actually, my ex-husband, came at me like this to my throat with my children in front of us because he was drunk and in a bad mood. So if you think I should not have divorced him, then there's no help for you. When a man comes at your throat, tries to choke you out, you realize it's time to leave. I don't blame him. He was drunk. He didn't know what he was doing. He was just a drunk. But now I'm happy, so why would you feel sorry for my daughter? She's happy too. I know. I don't have to explain to trolls. You're right. They're crazy. Australia's too far away, Joseph. I'm not going to Australia. I don't ever want to leave Florida. I love Florida. I'm so happy here. I love my life here. I have wonderful friends. I don't have anything to be sorry about. I have the most wonderful life. And I have the beach report. The beach report is the most amazing thing I've ever done. I am so happy, Barry. You're right. You're right, Rob. Yeah, this is a no troll zone, exactly. And thank you for saying I look cute like a college student. Yeah, I'm an old lady and I'm okay with it. I don't mind being old. I'm 60. I'm happy. And actually, that's another situation I want to talk about, is that being 60 years old, and those of you who are young and you make fun of me for being old, but I'm still alive and I'm happy. And I would like to help you to live your best life and to stay healthy like I am. I don't have health insurance. I don't go to doctors. I actually don't believe in doctors. Barry, you're only 27. That's amazing. You seem much more mature. You're younger than my youngest son. Well, I only have one son. But anyway, you're younger than him. Well, thank you, Roman. 72, yes, I feel like a baby next to you, Dave. But it's not a bad thing to get old. People always say, what a drag it is getting old. It's not. It's not that bad. I actually really like it because now I feel like I know everything. Hi, Gracie. I'm smarter than everybody, so... Yeah, I'm not worried about what bots and strangers say to me. I only care about what happens when I leave this earth and I stand before my Creator and He says, well done, good and faithful servant. That's who I'm playing to. You can say whatever you want to me. I don't care. I worry about what He thinks. And you're right, Gracie, getting old is a privilege. Hello, Slovenia. Thank you, Harriet. You're so kind. I walk down the street. This happens pretty much every day. I walk down the street and somebody compliments me on my hair. It's the craziest thing. I'm like totally gray head, but people love it. It's fun. So getting old, not so bad. All right, you guys. Well, it is getting hot. So I'm going to say ciao for now. I know it's jealousy, Barry. I understand that. I feel sorry for people who are jealous. Good morning, Philly. 61, living your best life here and now. I'm glad you're here, Philly. And for those of you who feel the need to say really rude, nasty things to me, I just wish for you that you would learn how to treat other people with respect. Strangers you don't know. Even people on the internet have feelings and are human. So if you want to talk to somebody, please try to think about what you say before you say it. Try to be respectful to other people, even if you don't know them. Because when you say these rude things to me, then I know what kind of person you are, and it's not very nice. Hey, Johnny. Just please don't be rude. It doesn't hurt me because I know that you don't know me and you don't care about anything or anybody. So, but it hurts me to know that there are people like you in the world spreading your disease. That's sad. Anyway, I like to spread sunshine. What will this day be like? I wonder. What will my future be? I wonder. Oh, Mitchell's here. It could be so exciting. Of course, I remember you. To be out in the world, to be free. My heart should be wildly rejoicing. Oh, what's the matter with me? I've always longed for adventure, to do the things I never dared. Now here I'm facing adventure. Then why am I so scared? See you later, Rachel. And please don't treat me like a sex object. I'm an old lady. I have no interest in sex. A captain with 7 children. What's so fearsome about that? Oh, I must stop these doubts, all these worries. If I don't, I just know I'll turn back. I must dream of the things I am seeking. I'm seeking the courage I lack. The courage to serve them with reliance. To face my mistakes without defiance. To show them I'm worthy. And while I show them, I'll show me so. Let them bring on all their problems. I'll do better than my best. I have confidence to put me to the test. Besides what you see, I have confidence in me. Bye, Barry. Strength doesn't lie in numbers. Strength doesn't lie in wealth. Strength lies in nights of peaceful slumbers. When you wake up, wake up. It can be all I trust, I give my heart to. All I trust becomes my own. I have confidence in confidence alone. Please help. I have confidence in confidence alone. Besides which you see, I have confidence in me. I have confidence in sunshine. I have confidence in rain. I have confidence that spring will come again. Besides what you see, I have confidence in me. Somehow I will impress them. I will be firm but kind. And all those children, heaven bless them, they will look up to me and mind me with each step. I am more certain everything will turn out fine. I have confidence the world can all be mine. Besides what you see, I have confidence in me. There's Annie. Annie's in the house. Hello, Annie. I'm just over here singing a song. Do you know what that song is from? Let me know. The reason I keep touching my nose is because I'm sweating and the sweat is dripping on my nose and it's itchy. Yes, connecting us to the earth and grounding. Yeah, let's sing an Annie song. Let's see. The sun'll come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow there'll be sun. Just thinking about tomorrow clears away the cobwebs and the sorrow till there's none. When I'm stuck with a day that's gray and lonely, I just stick up my chin and grin and say, oh, tomorrow, tomorrow, I love ya, tomorrow, you're only a day away. That's a little high for me. All right, you guys. It's so beautiful. It just makes me want to sing. So I'll do one more song that I like to sing. When I see the sun like this, I think of the musical Oliver. Who will buy this wonderful feeling? No, I'm sorry, it's morning. Who will buy this wonderful morning? Such a sight you never did see. Me, oh my, I don't want to lose it. So put it in a box for me. There'll never be a day so sunny. It could not happen twice. Where is the man with all the money who thinks the house so twice? Who will buy this wonderful feeling? I'm so high, I swear I could fly. Me, oh my, I don't want to lose it. So what am I to do to keep the sky so blue? There must be someone who will buy. All right, you guys. Well, I'm gonna buy this wonderful morning and go get something to eat for breakfast. I forget who it was. I think it was Barry who said that an apple will give you more energy in the morning than a cup of coffee. So I am going to eat an apple and get my energy as I walk back home. I've got about a half-hour walk ahead of me. So, yeah, the strawberry. No, it was who will buy the sweet red roses to who blooms for a penny. Ripe strawberries, ripe, ripe strawberries, ripe. Who will buy my sweet red roses to who blooms for a penny? That's how that song starts. All right, my phone is gonna get really mad because it's getting hot and it's gonna melt in the heat. So mahalo to everybody. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And don't forget to watch the Beach Report, I think at around 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock, early this evening. Actually, right around sunset, which is when you can usually expect me. But we're going to be in Lauderdale by the Sea this evening where they have their very first block party of the season. So that should be a lot of fun. Great live music, dancing and singing, which we love to do here on the Beach Report. We will see you later around sunset. I don't know, 5:36. I'm not sure what time the block party starts, but we'll do it for sunset and we'll have a good time this evening and we will forget all of our problems through dancing and singing. All right, you guys, have a wonderful rest of your day.